Hey everybody, welcome back, man. It's been a month since I've talked to you, and I always like to have these little monthly how many wins chats with you. But since the last time I saw you or talked to you, man, I'm reminded of something as I go out here. Of course, I go out and speak every month. Not to mention, I'm running my own business, like many of you are actively pursuing your own stuff. And I'm reminded of something, man. It reminds me all the time, but for some reason, I wanted to talk about it today. The challenges of leadership. Well, leadership is difficult. And it just doesn't matter if you're leading your family, if you're leading yourself, if you're leading a school, a classroom. It's just challenging, and there's always an opportunity to remind ourselves kind of which way we're going, because every now and then we just need a little bit of a refresher course. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit more about that personal leadership, and I'll talk about leading that person in the mirror. Let's lead ourselves a little bit this month. And I tell you what, man, I could easily have gone a different way. I could very easily have not been a Feel the Love guy. I could have easily not been the How Many Wins guy, because leading when you're trying to be principled about stuff is even harder. It's harder than just regular going to work and being a manager. When you're trying to lead and stand for something, that's even harder. And I chose love, and I chose wins, and that makes things even harder for a couple of reasons. One, it's hard to stay positive every day, and two, when you talk about the word love in a sense around growing people, especially as a guy, they look at you funny, and people think you must be crazy or something like that. And that's probably true. But I made that choice. I chose to be that guy. And I tell you what, it would not be difficult for me at all to go the other way. To be a guy that you walk up to me and you ask me, how I'm doing or how my day is going. Do you know how easy it would be for me to play the Queen for a Day game? I could so easily sit there and make lists of stuff that's going wrong and challenges in my life. And I could play that game really well. If you came up to me, hey, how's your day going? I could say, oh man, I got up at 7 o'clock this morning. I had a team of nurses in there how to get me up. They cleaned me, they rolled me, they got me dressed, they tugged on me. I couldn't breathe. I was breathing. I could make a whole list of all the stuff that happened to me before 8 a.m. I had more things happen to my body before 8 o'clock in the morning than you probably have in a month. But I don't want to share that with everybody. I don't want to talk to that everybody. So I can do it. I can be that guy, but I chose not to. I chose a different path, and here's why. When people come to me, when they meet me, and I was injured at 16, I have my whole life in front of me. I had to make a decision of who I wanted to be. And if I wanted people to come around and be my friend or hang out with me, I wasn't going to be able to do it with sitting around going, poor me, poor me. People don't want to be around that. People don't want to be around a guy that sits there and tells everybody how cranky you are all the time. Nobody wants to be surrounded by that. People don't want to follow you. People don't even want to be your friend. They'll feel sorry for you, but not for very long. That doesn't last very long. So I had to make a choice. If I wanted to be somebody that had friends and somebody that could contribute to society, I had to put a different version of myself out there. So what I discovered about being positive and creating this how many wins attitude, love, it became this idea of love being, I had to love myself. I had to learn to love myself again. And when I did, I realized that once I loved myself, I wanted to put the best version of myself out in front of others, because I wanted other people to be able to like me too and to love me too. In order to do that, so I figured I had to put the best version of myself in front of others, in front of the world to see. And that's how I chose to live my life. I didn't have to, but that's the choice I made. So one of those choices included, by the way, going to college, getting a degree, and getting a job and moving into this world of what we call educational leadership. And educational leadership for me started as a classroom teacher. I was a coach, and I taught in the classroom. I taught 6th grade the first couple of years. Moved on, taught 7th and 8th grade. And I had a room full of kids that I was responsible for their future. And I knew immediately that they were going to take a piece of me with them out into the world. No question about it. I was going to be surrounded by every day, surrounded by 35, 40 kids. And they were going to walk out of my classroom when it was done in June. And they were going to remember me. And whatever I taught them was going to go with them. So what I decided was, Why would I want to give them anything less than my best? If they're going to remember me for the rest of their lives, wouldn't I want to give them my best possible piece of myself? Because one, that was the part that I want, that's the part that I wanted them to love. I wanted them to know that I loved them. And so if I loved them, if they felt that, that would mean I gave them my very, very best self. And so the thing that comes with that is you have to live that every single day. And that's where the How Many Wins thing came about. Once I made the decision to teach on love, put my best self out there, I had to create a plan to celebrate every single day. Well, How Many Wins gave me the ability to make every single day something positive and a celebration. So my teaching style, my coaching style immediately became, to my young people, I want you to feel this, what I call love. I want you to go out of my classroom and know that you can succeed every single day of your life. And I want to give you an alternative to quitting and despair. And so that's what the How Many Wins approach did. So that's the kind of teacher I became, and I didn't have to. I could have walked in and just said, hey, open your books and do this kind of stuff. But I chose not to. I chose to make my classroom about something more than just the books. We used, certainly the learning was critically important, but one of the things we learned was how to love ourselves and how to put our best self forward, and how to celebrate every day. The good news about that is that transformation for me, from a person trying to teach myself how to survive to leading young people, led to some opportunities that came about in educational leadership. And over the past 25 years, my responsibilities have changed to leading a school site, actually to leading a department, to leading a school site, to leading a city, and now going out and trying to lead leaders all across North America. And I didn't have to do that either, but I chose to. But what doesn't change when you make those choices is remember who you are and what you represent. The same thing applies in my leadership philosophy to adults as it did to my kids. I realized if I approach leading from love, and I love the people, and I really want to put my heart into it, and love the people that I was working with, I had to put my best self forward. I had to put my best foot forward for them and give them my best self every day, and make sure that they saw somebody, they could be around somebody whose job, my job is to inspire. My job is to motivate. My job is to move you to feel like you can do something better. And so the way you do that is not by sitting around complaining all the time. The way we do that is celebrating every day. The way we do that is putting our best self forward. So as a leader of adults and as a leader of young people, it doesn't change. I've decided that if I lead with love and if I lead with celebrate every single day, that's a better possibility for me to move myself forward. So that kind of leads me to kind of conclude this up. What I want people to understand in leadership, it doesn't matter to me if you're a corporate leader, an educational leader, or a student leader. The whole idea is about choices. We have to decide and choose who we are and what we represent, and when we do, that's what we have to live our lives like, and that's how we have to lead others like. You don't have to make the same choices I did, but you have to make some. My choice was, I'm going to lead with love. I'm going to lead with my heart, and I'm going to make that happen by celebrating every single day. I hope you make your choices. I hope you decide what that's going to look like in your leadership paradigm, and I can't wait to hear about it and see you, because I know great things are going to happen for you. So best of luck, and remember, I'm going to say this every time, but lead with your heart. And when those days get difficult, look yourself in the mirror every single day and ask yourself that question. How many wins have you had today? Take care. See you next month.